On the edge of a wide green meadow sat a little red barn. Inside the barn lived a pink pig named Pip. Pip had a curly tail, ears that twitched when he was excited, and a snout that was always smudged with straw or mud. Pip loved his farm. He loved rolling in puddles after the rain. He loved crunching on apples when Farmer Jill tossed them into the pen. But more than anything, Pip longed for a friend. Sure, the chickens were nice, but they were always pecking and clucking, never listening to his stories. The sheep were soft and friendly, but they were busy grazing. Pip dreamed of a pal who would play with him, run with him, and share secrets. Every night, before he snuggled into his straw bed, Pip whispered, "I wish I had a best friend." One sunny morning, Pip heard something he hadn't noticed before. A loud, cheerful woof. It came from beyond the wooden fence. Pip trotted over and poked his snout through a gap. There stood Digby, the farm dog. Digby was golden brown with floppy ears, a wagging tail, and eyes that sparkled with mischief. "Hello there," Pip squealed. "I'm Pip. Who are you?" "I'm Digby," the dog barked, wagging so hard his whole body wiggled. "I guard the farm, chase sticks, and keep the foxes away." "What do you do?" I roll in mud," Pip admitted, a little shyly. "And I love stories and games. Do you like games?" Digby's ears perked up. "I love games, especially running and racing." Pip's heart leapt. Maybe, just maybe, his wish for a friend was about to come true. "Race you to the oak tree," Digby barked. Without waiting, he dashed off, paws pounding the dirt. Pip squealed with delight and scrambled out of his pen. The gate had been left open while Farmer Jill carried hay. He galloped after Digby as fast as his little legs could go. Digby reached the tree first, spinning in circles with joy. Pip arrived a moment later, panting but smiling. "You're fast," Pip gasped. "And you're brave," Digby barked. Not every pig would dash across the yard like that. Pip's ears tingled with happiness. He had never been called brave before. Later that afternoon, Pip and Digby wandered near the orchard. The apple trees were heavy with fruit, and the air smelled sweet. Suddenly, Digby froze. "Fox," he growled softly. Out from the bushes slipped a sly red fox with bright eyes and a bushy tail. It crept toward the henhouse, where the chickens were clucking nervously. "Oh no," Pip whispered. "What do we do?" "What?" Digby barked loudly, dashing forward to chase the fox, but the fox was quick, darting this way and that. Pip thought fast. "Apples!" he squealed. He ran to the trees, bumped one with his snout, and plop! A big red apple fell right on the fox's tail. "Yip!" yelped the fox, startled. With Digby barking and Pip rolling apples down the hill, the fox finally gave up and scampered into the woods. The chickens clucked and flapped their wings in relief. "You saved the hens!" Digby barked proudly. "We saved them," Pip corrected with a smile. The next morning, rain pattered on the barn roof. Puddles formed all over the farmyard, and Pip squealed with glee. "Come on, Digby," he cried. "It's mud time." Digby wrinkled his nose. "Dogs don't really roll in mud." "Not even a little?" Pip asked, giving his best puppy pig eyes. Digby hesitated. Then, with a playful growl, he leapt into a puddle beside Pip. Splash! Mud flew everywhere, covering their ears, tails, and even their noses. "See? Isn't it fun?" Pip giggled. Digby wagged his tail so hard he sent a spray of muddy water all over Pip. Both friends collapsed in the puddle, laughing until their bellies hurt. When Farmer Jill came outside and saw them, she put her hands on her hips. "What happened here?" she asked sternly. Pip and Digby glanced at each other, then at Farmer Jill. "We were playing," Pip admitted softly. Farmer Jill sighed, but her eyes twinkled. "Well, you two certainly made a mess, but I can see you've become good friends." She hosed them down gently with warm water, scrubbed their ears, and gave each of them a pat. "Every farm is better when friends work and play together," she said kindly. One evening, dark clouds gathered and thunder boomed. Rain poured down, and the wind rattled the barn doors. Pip huddled in the straw, frightened by the storm. Suddenly, the barn door creaked open, and Digby trotted inside. He curled up right beside Pip, warm and steady. "Don't be scared," Digby whispered. "I'm here." With Digby by his side, Pip's fear melted away. The two friends listened to the storm together, their breaths slow and calm, until they drifted into sleep. When autumn arrived, Farmer Jill held a harvest festival. The barn was decorated with pumpkins, cornstalks, and strings of golden lights. Families from the village came to play games, eat pies, and dance to fiddle music. Pip trotted proudly beside Digby as the visitors arrived. Children laughed when Pip snorted and rolled in a little pile of hay. Digby wagged his tail and fetched sticks for everyone who threw them. "Look at that pig and dog," someone said. "What a team!" Pip's heart swelled. He had wished for one friend. But now, he and Digby were showing the whole farm how wonderful friendship could be. As winter crept closer, Pip and Digby discovered a hollow in the big oak tree. It was just the right size for the two of them to squeeze inside. "This will be our hideout," Pip whispered. "Our secret fort," Digby agreed. They lined it with straw and leaves, making it cozy. Sometimes they told stories there, sometimes they napped, and sometimes they just sat in silence, listening to the rustling leaves. It was their special place, just for them. Through all the seasons, muddy spring, sunny summer, golden autumn, and snowy winter, Pip and Digby stayed side by side. They raced through the fields, shared apples under the trees, and watched the stars from their secret hideout. Pip no longer whispered wishes at night. He didn't need to. His wish had already come true. He had Digby, and Digby had him. Best friends, forever.